This is the second lesson on our loving kindness meditation. So we are going to have theory and practice. Theory is explaining what is this loving kindness all about and how you practice step by step. And I follow the scripture going one by one so that you could understand the process of practicing loving kindness. Last week we covered about loving kindness to yourself, to your own mind and body. So it is important to have loving kindness to your own self so that you bring out the awareness towards your own self, whether there is loving kindness in your mind. So that becomes a reminder that when you cultivate loving kindness, means you caring for your own self, your own mind and body, and therefore you should not harm your own mind and body. And how do you harm your own mind and body? When you have a lot of unpleasant mind, unpleasant thoughts, when you have a lot of anger, you have a lot of hatred arising in your mind, or when you have fear, then you suffer. Then you suffer mentally. So, what is this suffering? It is this feeling, unpleasant feeling arises in your mind. And so when you have these thoughts, when you have thoughts of anger, it arises unpleasant feeling. So at that moment, you are actually bringing pain to your own self. You are creating unhappiness to your own self by your thinking. Your thinking produces the happiness or the sadness. So in order to care for yourself, you should not create unhappiness for yourself, mental pain, mental suffering. So in the practice of these loving kindness, we use a certain words in the scripture, but you can use your own words. But in this course, I will follow the scripture. How the 4 lines, like, may I be free from enmity, may I be free from mental suffering, physical suffering, may I be well, peaceful, happy. In other words, you register positive thinking in your mind, and it will remind you when you cause suffering to yourself, when you start to feel sad and worry, when you become very disturbed. But because you have developed this mindfulness, when you keep reminding yourself, this mindfulness will arise in your mind to tell you that you are causing harm to yourself. You are hurting yourself, your mind and your body. So it is like when you tell yourself, tomorrow I must remember 12 o'clock I got an appointment. It is like, for example, you are coming for the Metta meditation or Hokkien talk. So you keep reminding yourself. So it's like reminding yourself, okay, 2 p.m. I'm going here to listen to Hokkien talk. 2 p.m. or 3:30 is the Metta class, loving kindness class. So you keep telling yourself, must not forget, must remember, must come and listen for the Dhamma talk. So what happened? Your mind will tell you, hey, what's the time now? Wow, another half an hour. Better get my things ready and come for the meditation class. So what is that? That is mindfulness. The mindfulness that you constantly put into your mind. And this mindfulness together with perception, memories, wholesome memories, to listen to the Dhamma talk, wholesome memories. But unwholesome memories has no mindfulness. Unwholesome memories rooted in greed, hatred, delusion. It has no mindfulness. But only wholesome memories have mindfulness, something wholesome. When you remember something wholesome, like you have helped your friend in the past 10 years ago, or things like that. A friend in trouble, you help your friend. So it arises in the memory, oh, I have helped my friend. So that is the mindfulness arises with the memory. So the same, exactly what you do now in the practice of loving kindness is to develop this mindfulness and memories. And now what is this memory that you are going to register in your mind? Memories of kindness, of caring to your own self. May I not hurt myself. May I be free from mental pain, mental suffering. What is mental suffering? Mental suffering is sadness fear remorse All this is called mental suffering. May I be free from mental suffering. May I be free from physical suffering. Means you need to take care of yourself, your physical self. You don't take drugs you don't go and drink until you vomit You don't keep on putting a lot of calories fats unhealthy food into your body that is harming your body. We call them junk food. You don't keep on eating junk food until your body gets sick. Like last time there was this friend of mine. He drink and drink and drink. I say, hey, why do you have to drink so much? Don't drink so much no good He likes to eat fish curry, and he will, when he like to eat, he will give me a call. Hey, Rajan, you free? I want to take you fish curry. I say okay. And when he eat, he drink, and then wow! I say, you look at the table, nearly all the bottle covered up already. I have no place to take the curry already. He said, oh, like that Okay, I put it bottom. And then he start again. Okay, one more, start again. He said, why you drink so much? Not good for health. Your kidney have problem next time. He said, no, I'm very strong one. I drink like a fish. He said, I drink like a fish. He's skinny, but when he eat, I tell you, you faint. Oh, you can eat so much. Oh, fantastic. And also drink so much. Eat, drink. Eat. Oh, fantastic. He eat one time, I can eat many days. Eat a lot. Die very young. Before 50, only kidney problem already. So he passed away quite long ago. Passed away 20, 30 years ago. So we were quite good friends, we were quite close, and he harmed his body. He just enjoy. That is craving. No metta to the body, no caring. So he harmed the body. But if there is kindness towards himself, then he take care of his mind, he take care of his body. Because the Buddha said the body is important. The body is like a boat cross the sea. If the body is like the boat that is leaking, then you cannot cross the sea. If you are not healthy, you can't meditate. If you have a lot of pain, a lot of sicknesses, you can't meditate well. Then the body has no strength, it's weak, a lot of pain, then you can't meditate well. So the body is important for meditation. So metta to oneself is constantly reflecting. Every day you do it in the morning, when you wake up, in the afternoon, when you are free, at night, when you lie down, go to sleep. Then you radiate, may I be well, peaceful, happy. May I be well, peaceful, happy. 5-10 minutes. We can do lying posture. The same with our wisdom meditation. We can do walking posture. You walk, and you keep on. You don't see the lifting, pushing already, because this is a different meditation. You don't see the wind element already. This is different. This is you just put the memories with the mindfulness, register into your mind. So if you keep on registered, then it will keep on arising. If you don't register in your mind, you forget. You hurt yourself, you also don't know because you never registered. You never think it is important. You never cultivate. So therefore it won't arise. So it is quite simple. Compared to wisdom meditation, is to constantly say with sincerity mean what you say Don't just say me well, happy, then fall asleep. You must really want to be happy Put a smile to your face happy, may I be happy. Make yourself happy Put a smile there Don't cry and say may I be happy So really mean what you say. Then you register into the mind. And when it is strong, then it constantly arises. Hey, I'm not happy so may I be well and happy. May I not make myself sad. If there are a lot of problem in your mind you can't solve, just put it one side until your mind is peaceful. Then you come back and solve your problem. So what do? You change your mind to the positive. Positive. So you combine your loving kindness and your wisdom meditation. Let go all the unwholesome, unhappy thinking. And what do you bring up? You bring up wholesome mind. May I be free from mental suffering. May I be free from anger. Or if you have a lot of fear, may I be free from fear. May I be free from fear. Then you must follow up with the positive. May I be well, peaceful, happy. Follow up with the positive. Put it into your mind. The more you do it, the more concentration develops, then the samadhi, the peacefulness and calmness of the mind sets in. Then you get a lot of happiness, a lot of joy arising out of the calmness of mind. So we are talking about spiritual joy, not the joy depending on the craving one. You got nice food to eat, no nice food to eat, then you curse. That is the craving type of happiness. People praise you, you very happy. People scold you, you cry. That is the craving one. Different one, depending on your senses one. We call it worldly happiness. It's like, you got good food, why happy? No good food. Why people don't invite me for food now? Last time invite me for food, now nobody invite me for food. That's a craving one. Happiness in food, happiness in sound, in hearing. People praise you, you're happy. If no people praise you, you become very sad. That is the craving one. Seeing. If you have nice movie to see, very nice. Wow, today the TV program very nice. Wow, waiting for the time to come. Very nice program. That is the craving one. But the spiritual type of happiness, they are wholesome one. They are not depending on craving one. They are non-craving one. They are wholesome one. And the Buddha said, it is more beneficial. They are more sublime. This type of happiness leads to happiness. The spiritual type of happiness leads to happiness. It leads to more peace and more joy keep on arising. But the senses happiness lead to sorrow. Why? Why does it lead to sorrow? Because it is craving. Craving wants to keep on repeating. So once they can't have, then it is sorrow. Then sorrow arises. Then you feel deprived you feel angry you feel frustrated Why? Because it is due to craving. And craving is always not enough. Like drinking salt water to quench the throat. it's always not enough. The more you drink, the more you want. So therefore, it does not lead to peace, calmness, and happiness. So it's a different type of happiness. So we must have both, right now. But the more you have spiritual joy, the less you require worldly joy. Okay? But if you don't have spiritual joy, then you must have worldly joy. If you don't have worldly joy, then you're angry all the time. If you don't have spiritual joy, so you find people who are a lot of hatred and anger and always grumble and scold. What is missing? Spiritual joy. They don't have that fulfillment. They don't have that contentment, that peace and tranquility. So they require worldly joy. And if they don't have worldly joy, then they grumble all the time. Then they keep on grumbling. Why people like that? Why you don't do things properly? Or keep scolding non-stop. Then you know, are you pitiful? He's a non-meditator. He has no spiritual joy. Right? Because the mind works in that way. The more you meditate, the more you understand your mind, the more you can manage your mind, can handle your mind. Okay? So, today we have a new subject. We have practice loving kindness towards your loved ones. Kẻ chỉ đã làm khôn liền, chỉ để chuẩn bị sim, là làm ai làm loved ones. Now, when we talk about loving kindness and love, it is not the same. We talk about loving kindness is wholesome, non-craving. But when you talk about love, human love, it is always craving, selfish love. And how do we differentiate between the two? The craving type of love is selfishness. It always anchors on the self. It is like the mother talking to the son. Mommy take good care of you. You study very hard. So when you come out and work, what happened? The first pay, okay, give to me. Give to mommy. That is investment. I take good care of you. So next time, give me your money. Okay. Like that. So it is like a selfish type of love. It expects that I love you. You must love mommy back. It is like I love you. You love me back. If you don't love me back, mommy not going to love you. It is like I give you, you give me. So it is a love, it's a caring, but it is connected to selfishness. Selfishness. So when we talk about loved ones, today let's talk about husband and wife. There's a lot of selfishness between husband and wife, and a lot of loving kindness as well between both of them. So at first it starts with the craving love. Otherwise you can't get married. It has a lot of craving love, attachment we call it. It's a lot of attachment. And a lot of these love, they are fantasies. It's expectation. And you see the other partner, whether it's your wife or it's your husband, you see, we always say rose tinted. Where you wear a color lens. When you wear red, you see everything red. So love is like that. You paint a picture of the expectation of that person. That wow, he's like that. He's very good. Wow, he's like that. He's very generous. Like that. But then after some time, when it comes to wow, not like that one. Like this one, finish. When you get married and you stay together for a certain period of time, sometimes can't even last 6 months, like most case. So it is some sort of a craving type of love, selfish love, expectation type of love. Expect like that, then I love you. If it's not like that, like this, then I don't love you. So it is called called a selfish type of love. Selfish type of love will continue on as long as the person gets what he wants or what she wants. So when the person don't get what he wants or she wants, then comes a lot of quarrel, a lot of unhappiness, a lot of sadness, a lot of all these disturbances, mental disturbances. But the loving kindness is different. The loving kindness is spiritual love. It's love without calculation, not calculative love. Without calculation. It's just giving without asking. Spiritual love. And it transcends sexual love, transcends sex. It is just pure love without sexual gratification or sexual enjoyment. It's just love. That is why this love is so great. It can be given to mother and father, to husband, to wife, to children, to friends, even to enemies, because it has no sexual nature. In that love, it is pure love and it is unlimited love. And when you practice your loving kindness to a certain level, you also expect to radiate your loving kindness to unseen beings, even ghosts, spirits, supposed to also radiate without any difference. So to understand these two types of loving kindness, we learn the spiritual type of loving kindness, how we practice towards loved ones, so that we could be happy. And you could have both. You could have the human type of love and you could have the spiritual type of love. But the spiritual type of love is important. It sustains the family. Without the spiritual type of love, depending on the selfish type of love, marriage could never last. Marriage could never last. If it's calculative, always calculating, why he never do this to me? Then he says, a husband should do that, and the husband say the wife should do this, and no end. One say husband, one say wife must do this. Expectation of each other, that is a lot of suffering, because expectation brings disappointment. The more we expect, the more disappointed we become. When you expect like that, but it doesn't come to that level, then you feel very disappointed. Say, I expect this, but he doesn't do this to me. The wife expects this, and the husband expects that. Finish. The whole house is upside down. There will always be quarrel, dissatisfaction, argument. There will be no peace and happiness in the family. So metta, loving kindness, is very important to the loved ones. And some ask me, Brother Jim, we are not supposed to practice metta to our wife, to the opposite sex. We are not supposed to practice metta to my mother, because she's female, I'm male. I say, finish lah. If wife also you can't practice metta, mother also cannot. Your daughter also cannot finish lah. Then what you practice metta to what? To who? Metta is universal. Practice to all beings, that covers male or female, that covers human or non-human, without border, without limit. So therefore, it is called Brahma Vihara. It is called the great mind. When you practice loving kindness, you are called Brahma. If your mind is unlimited, when your meditation goes to strong concentration, constant radiating of loving kindness, keep on flowing without stopping to all beings, then we say that you have the mind of a Brahma, the great beings, without border. Loving kindness is without comparison. So it belongs to great beings, the beings of the Brahma. So the Brahma has these 4 types of mind: compassion, loving kindness, equanimity, joy, and others' happiness. Whenever he heard about people who is happy, who got promotion, who strike first prize lottery, who is very happy because of certain things, of their wish fulfilled, then the joy arises in their mind. When you hear people strike lottery, then he will say, "Wow, he's so happy, it's very good, he strike first lottery, my friend, even stranger, say, wow, he's very lucky, wow, he got promotion, very lucky, I'm so happy for him." There is no border whether it's your loved ones, it is your friend, it's your stranger, or even your enemy. But that is, of course, the meditator has practiced to a very, very high level. And these 4 types of mind that belongs to the Brahma, great beings. We call them Brahma. There are 20 levels where this Brahma is reborn, where they reside after the 6 realms of the Devas and Devis. Then we have the Brahma worlds, 20 levels of the Brahma world. So the happy realm are actually so much more than the unhappy realm, The human is in between, sometimes like heaven, sometimes like hell. Right? Sometimes your mind is like in heaven. You say, "I'm in heaven, you're so happy, right? And sometimes you say, "I am in hell, you're so unhappy and sad. Life has no meaning anymore, you're just like hell." And below the realm, the unhappy realm, you have the animal world, you have the Asuras world, the demon world, you have the hell world. So the unhappy world are less, happy world are more. But the happy world are more harder to go up. There are more beings in the unhappy world than the happy world. The happy world, there are not many people there. The world is so big, but not many people there. The unhappy world, wow, fantastic. You see an anthill, you can count the ant inside the anthill or not? Millions of ants in one anthill. Just imagine that, one anthill like that. If a big one, billions of ants in one anthill, a big anthill. You see the beings, how many fishes in the ocean? Could you imagine that? How many worms? 1 acre of land, this person who rear worms, and he sell for people who go fishing, and he got 1 acre of land, and he catch the worms to sell, and put it into tin, and sell what tin, how much? He said, if I join the worms together, because he count, sometimes he count how many worms. He said, if I join the worms together, my 1 acre of land, the worm, I join them together, can reach the moon. And just imagine how many worms in 1 acre of land. So the beings of the lower world are fantastic compared to the human. Of course, you say, wow, human, how many billion now in our world? That cannot be compared to the lower world. The higher we go, the less. So, important to practice to our loved ones. So today we talk about husband and wife. So metta to the wife. How do you practice loving kindness to the wife? Important is to speak gently and kindly. Don't look down on her. This is very important. To give her respect. And when she has self-respect, then she becomes a good wife. If you don't have self-respect, if she's look lowerly down, then you always feel unsatisfied, not happy, disturbed, and there will always be quarrel in the family. So, a husband practice metta, loving kindness, has to speak gently and kindly. And the Buddha say to bring her gifts. I buy present for the wife because that is the nature of the woman. Especially their birthday, anniversary, very important to them, but not to the husband. I always forget. Even their own birthday also they forget. When they are born also they don't know, forget. But to the wife it is very important. Very important. So metta is loving kindness is to make people happy, not make people sad or angry. So to remember that the birthday of the wife is important. Actually is important. Otherwise when they are sad, the husband cannot be happy. Make sure that the husband suffer. When you come back, you have cold rice to eat. Then you say, what have gone wrong? What have I done? You haven't done anything except you forget the birthday. Don't talk harshly. Don't scold her. Express your concern. Caring is very important. They like to feel love. Love is so important to everybody. Everyone wants to feel being cared, being loved. But that is a human love. But there is no choice. There's no choice. The mind requires love. Especially the children requires love from the parents. If the parents do not show their love for them, indeed it is a lot of pain. So much suffering. If the father or mother love the first one, don't love the second one, love the last one, don't love the fourth one, then the children that is not loved will suffer mental pain. They feel great pain if the parents don't love them, because they require love. Unless they have spiritual love. When they have enough love for themselves, they don't require love outside. It is because they don't develop this metta, this loving kindness towards themselves. Then they require love. So when they have abundance of loving kindness for themselves, they give love. They don't have to receive. If you are so rich, do you need more money? Supposing in your bank account you have 10 million and your friend comes, hey, I like you so much. Now, I give you $10. Do you want the $10 or not? No need lah. Your $10 go hard enough already lah. But if your pocket is gosong for one whole day, do you need the $10 or not? Wow, the $10 is like 10 million. Right now. That's why people appreciate. People appreciate. Those poor people will appreciate more when you give it to them than rich people, because they don't need it. They don't need the money. Right now, if your friend is very rich driving Mercedes car and you go and say, hey, I like you so much, you're my good friend. Today I give you $10. You think he's very happy? No, he doesn't need your $10. He's so rich. Just as when you have a lot of spiritual joy, you don't need. You have a lot of spiritual love. You don't need. You don't feel lonely. You don't need another person to love you, because you're sufficient. Now there is one thing, the Deva world compared to the human world. The Devas, they are also rich. It's hard for them to do good action. The Deva say, hey, I give you $10, I give you $1 million. And the other Deva say, hey, no need, I can give you $2 million. Because they're so rich, you want to give me, I give you lah. I give you more lah. You want to give me $1 million, I give you $10 million. Because they don't need money. They are just so rich. They have food everywhere to eat. So for them to do dana, to give, so difficult. So sometimes you have to come down to the human world to help the human, because human needs the money. Human needs the money. Human need it. They don't need it. So sometimes the devas, when they look down, and if your karma is good, they can help you. They give you dream. Depend on your karma lah, 4-digit number lah. So sometimes my father like it every day he will ask me, why you got no dream one? My father one day he will write down 10-20 dream at night. I wake up, right, I don't forget. And then, I got dream this, dream that, dream that. So many numbers, don't know which one to buy. Why? Because I don't gamble lah. Where I got numbers? I got numbers, so forget lah. Right now. So Metta, loving kindness, is important to your loved ones. Only when you give metta to them, you don't hurt them, you don't say angry words, you look down on them. When they're happy, then the whole family is happy. Right now. If she's not happy, then the children won't be happy. And start scolding the children. Because the mother is frustrated, is sad, is angry, then the children suffers too. Now we come back to the husband. Now metta to the husband. Now that is the wife turn. So what do the husband need? Okay, the husband means you need to look after him, right? You need to cook for him. Cook food that he likes to eat. Warm food, right? So if you don't care for him, then finish. Then you look for caring outside. Right, because they require love. They require caring. Everybody requires caring. Why? Because we don't have sufficient caring for ourselves. But we can't distinguish between the spiritual care and the human care. We can't distinguish that. Unless you're very good. Unless when you start practicing loving kindness, meditation, and you become good, really good, you can differentiate between the attachment type of caring and the spiritual type of caring. And the spiritual type of caring is so important because you give without asking back. The human type of caring, you give but you ask back in return. So that is the difference. And the selfish type of caring gives us a lot of problem because when we ask back and it is not given, then we feel very sad and disappointed. Then they say, I do so much work lah, I cook lah, I clean lah, come back lah. My birthday also you forget. Gone case. The whole house is upside down. Right now, because you want something back. Because I care for you. I do all these things for you. I iron your shirt. I iron your pants. What do you do for me? One rose also don't have. Right now, I feel very angry and depressed. So, the husband should bring gifts. That's what the Buddha says. The husband should bear gift to the wife, and the wife should make sure that the husband have proper food, proper cooked food. Not to say when he comes back and he say, where's my wife? Then the children say, Mami pa ma jiok. Gone case lah, finish lah. Right now, enjoy herself lah. Don't look after the family lah, especially the husband. If he works hard, he brings back the money, the wife will make sure to care for the husband, right? And of course, the wife should show respect to the husband. Don't keep on grumbling non-stop. Right now. But of course when the wife is unhappy, and what weapon she has, grumbling is the only weapon. Keep on grumbling, because she's unhappy right now, and she's not telling why she's unhappy Finish lah. That's the problem Sometimes the wife expect the husband got telepathy power. Can read her mind Gone case lah. You think the husband is the number one meditator when he meditates, strong concentration No lah. The husband also got a lot of problem in the office. His own problem, his defilement, very blur, cannot see. Have no psychic power. And so that's how sometimes the whole family is so unhappy, upside down, because of expectation. So metta is required, loving kindness. Then you have to use positive thinking. Say, okay, never mind. Okay, never mind. He does not give me flowers, but he bring home every month some money for me. So you have to use some positive thinking. If you see the bad things in that person, anger arises because that's the nature of the mind. object affects the mind. The Buddha say, aramana pacaya. Object affects the mind. Objects. When you see the object as pleasant objects, you feel happy. When you hear nice music, you are happy. Because object affects the mind. Makes your mind happy or sad. When you see it's a good husband, whenever you see your husband, you smile. But if you see your husband as bad husband, a lot of bad things you put around him, you don't have to see it. You don't have to think until you get angry. You don't need to see it. Why? Because when the husband appears in your mind, he appears all the bad things. Why? Because you have surrounded the object with all the bad things. That's how the mind works. So how to practice metta? You have to take away the bad things and put good things. You have to try to take away the bad things and say, okay, sometimes he's in a bad mood. In the office, he's having a lot of problems with the boss. Okay, never mind. He's in a bad mood, just let him be. Be nice to him. So practice metta, loving kindness. Try to not to see the bad points, see the good points in that person. Then you can practice loving kindness. But if you see a lot of bad points in that person, then it's very difficult to practice loving kindness. Cannot arise. You cannot be kind to that person when you see him as an enemy all the time. Yeah, sometimes husband can be a big enemy, and sometimes wife can be a greatest enemy, and sometimes children also can be our enemy. They may be our loved ones, but they could be also our enemy. If you see all the bad points in them, then it could be your enemy. It could be your dear ones, loved ones. At the same time, they could also be your enemy. So it depends on how you think. So sanya, memory is very important. The memories that you build around the object is very, very important. Because if you have good memories of that person, it brings out a lot of happiness and caring. But if you have a lot of bad memories of that person, it brings out a lot of anger, frustration, and sadness. So we need to clean our mind. Say now. How? We cannot put soda inside. Shake, and come up to the ear. Cannot. Can you wash your mind? Your mind is so dirty. You better put some soda there and shake. Cannot. You cannot put the soda through the ear and shake. Cannot. Not say now. No. Only through meditation. You cannot wash. You can pour soda in your mind to wash. No. Only through meditation. Must learn the technique of replacing unpleasant object with pleasant objects. Alright? So, today I talk about husband and wife, how we must not always be so calculative, only think of ourselves, our own benefit, and only when you say, he do good to me, only I do good to him. No, don't say that. Just give unconditionally. Just practice. Tell yourself, I'm practicing pure mind, the mind of a Brahma. We're going to practice lofty mind. So, even if I don't see the benefit from that person, I will still give loving kindness to that person. Why? For your own benefit. For your own benefit. When you practice loving kindness meditation, you are the first one to benefit your own mind. You first have to change your mind, recondition your mind. You are the first one to benefit. Then the other person benefits. When you have a lot of kindness in your mind, it comes out into physical action, by words and physical action, then it benefits the other person. So loving kindness benefits yourself and it benefits others. So therefore, the Buddha say it is the right thing to do. When you do an action and you think to yourself whether it is a correct action or not, then you ask yourself, is it beneficial for yourself? Is it beneficial for the other person? If it is beneficial for yourself and for the other person, it is the right action. Then you should do it. The Buddha say, you should do it again and again and again because it is wholesome action. So you should do more of it. Accumulate wholesome karma. Alright? So next week I will cover loved ones, children, children and maybe your relative, your sister, brother, your parents. So it's quite a lot to cover for your loved ones. But in the practice of loving kindness, when I say your loved ones, you direct it to your wife or your children, someone you care very much. So when you think of them, it makes you happy. Then you bring out your loving kindness. May they be free from mental suffering. May they be free from anxieties or enmity, free from bodily pain, suffering. May they be well, peaceful, happy. So you bring up your loving kindness and ready to them. Before you do that, we go back. We do to ourselves first. Then we do it to our loved ones. Alright? Now, any question for today's talk on clear now? So this is very important. If you're married, very important. You must learn to develop kindness to your spouse. Right? So when you have the loving kindness, the family become more peaceful, more give and take, compromise. When you have loving kindness, then you compromise. You don't think only of yourself. You compromise because you think of the other person. So there will be more peace and happiness when you think more of your loved ones than more of yourself. Be selfish. Alright? Any question? Any question? Any question? Any question?